So I'm trying to say things I can't say with my mouth, with my hands. See? It's so beautiful, girl. Anyways, guys, welcome back. And of course, it is still the latest entertainment show on the planet. And I remain your host of the most, Ifeoluwa Oshuke. And of course, you know how I do it on the show, man. I always bring you guys good vibes, good energy, and of course, something brand new. And when I'm talking about brand new, we have a guest in the studio, and she was born in Southeast London. She spent some of her early years in Nigeria, where she lived with her family for 8 years, just 8 years, come on, and returned to the UK, where she has lived ever since. Upon her return to the UK, her music journey began in a church choir, where she had the opportunity to learn from and sing with industry artists. She has over 13 years experience as a writer and backing vocalist, working with Grammy Award winners such as Houghton and MOBO Award winner Dappy. She was also featured on BET for doing a group single, Get Towards raising money during the Haiti crisis at the Abbey Road Studios. During those years, she acquired a degree in advertising and public relations at Middlesex University and went on to working as a software engineer in the financial sector. Let us welcome the one and only, the beautiful, of course, the one who is single and searching for music. And yes, here I am. Everybody put a warm welcome together for this beautiful lady called Princess WONDA. And she's looking very wonderful, man.
Thank you. That is one.
Well done. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you look very good, man. Come on, man. We won't do that intro for you still, man. Have you seen yourself? Did you look at the mirror this morning?
It's good.
Or you rushed out?
I did rush out a little bit.
Yeah, so you didn't look at the mirror?
No, not
all right,
properly.
man. Me, I'm looking at you, so I tell you, you're looking good.
Really good.
Anyways, of course, you know this is where we just get right into it.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about music and what it means to you. If you to describe music using a color, what color would it be and why?
Probably red.
Why?
Because I feel like music can just ignite different sides of you. It can ignite memories. It can ignite like pain, love. It can just trigger anything about us. You know, you can listen to a song and it can remind you of like a smell or a time in your life. So I just think it's a very powerful tool. So yeah, red.
All right, so you know, a lot of people don't recognize their tools, you know, from a very young age. But you started at the age of 8, and then you have over 13 years experience, you know, doing all of this. So, and, you know, music being a powerful tool, how would you say that has helped you mentally, physically, and of course financially?
Oh, to be honest, that's a good question, because I think people don't realize, like, for some people it came naturally and, you know, they just started doing it and like here they are. But for me, I mean, I used to like imitate. That's usually how I started. Like I would sing like how other people would sing. And then I just realized, you know, it's like an outlet. I actually enjoyed doing this thing. And I feel like the older I got, I realized, you know, this is actually a skill set. And I was really blessed that while I was in the church choir, a lot of the people were actually industry coaches. So they had worked with industry artists, they had done vocal coaching with them, and then they had like their own agencies. So that's how I started doing backing vocal work, singing at weddings and doing gigs. So already singing in front of people was not like a strange thing. I think on the financial side, obviously I only started to realize the financial aspect of it the moment I got older. And you know how African parents are, I had to finish school first before. I had to get the education first, and then I was able to tackle it head on. But you know, the impact has been crazy. As a child, obviously I just thought it was that thing I enjoyed doing, you know, that hobby. I also did like school plays and stuff like that where I got to sing as well as act and dance. So it was sort of like I think it was just bound to happen at some point. It just felt like a natural evolution for me.
Right. All right.
Okay.
So there you go.
As a well-recognized and successful international female artist, how has the journey been so far?
It has been challenging, definitely challenging. Because you know, it's nice to get some challenges and then you have like this hurdle that you get over and you're like, oh, you know, I've made that, and then there's another thing that comes. So I think with every experience I've learned something different about myself, about working with people, but also when the good things happen, you know, it just reminds you that you're doing the right thing. It reminds you that you're on the right track. So it's
let me I want to sing a song. Maybe we'll, you know, make your memories. LALALE Friday.
LALALE Friday.
Tell me you basunle.
Listen,
Oh shit! Yes. All right, man. Your new single, LALALE.
Yes,
And of course, you released it on a Friday.
Yes.
Was that
See,
intentional?
I like the way you think because I love how you pieced it together without me saying anything. He's already got it, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like,
very intentional.
It was very intentional.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so dope, man. So tell us about LALALE.
Again, like, you know, I love the fact that you picked that up because, again, with my early years in Nigeria, those are the type of songs I was listening to. So they had a heavy influence on me, and I just thought, you know, I wanted to bring something fun, something sexy, something cool, you know, that hasn't been around for a while, you know.
I don't understand when you're trying to be sexy, like. Come on, man. You don't need to
You know,
try.
I still have to put it out there. You know, I still have to make sure people realize that's what I'm trying to do. But you know, I just wanted it to be something fun, something a bit different, but still familiar. You know.
All right, kids of people who haven't heard it, man. Nobody comes to the stable without giving us an acapella.
Ah, right. Okay. Kilo day, where you day? Don't go away, far away. Boy, I want something from you. I know. Waiting go day, kilo day, where you day? Don't go away, far away. Boy, I want something from you like a gold, you like a gold now. La la la, la la la, oh la la la.
All right, man. Tell them the cameras. Can we just go already?
I felt that.
I'm not going far away from you. Come on, man. Why are you singing that? Anyways, man, that's an
That was
amazing one, and your
Thank
vocal
you.
dexterity is,
wow, thank you so
100.
much. Thank
And
you.
I really like the fact that you can always play. You can always be yourself, and then
Absolutely.
still use your same voice. I was thinking maybe you go like, oh, come and yeah.
Absolutely
But
not.
I feel like
I
I'm still
wasn't
talking to the same.
expecting
The
that,
same
though.
person who sang to me is the same person.
Wow,
And
thank
yeah, so have you been able to master that? Because I know working with Grammy Award winners, MOBO Award winners, of course, it has to be a lot of work. It's not like you just learned it in one
Absolutely.
day.
It's like what I
Yeah.
was saying earlier, like I was really fortunate to work with people early on who took this thing seriously. Like, you know, some people, it's like, oh, it's quiet practice, you turn up at a certain time, you go home, but it was like an art form. You know, when we're doing like certain shows, there'll be like 12-hour rehearsal days. So that to me now is not daunting. It's not a scary thing of, how long is this rehearsal going to be? Like, to me, I'm sort of mentally prepared for that stuff. So maybe the experience of those things, it just shows in times like this. But it's subconscious now. I don't even realize, you know, you just said
The
sing. So
work
to me,
that's
it's like,
put, It's like what our parents have been telling us, and now we're beginning to learn. Or the new song, Adulthood Now Scam.
Well, there you go. She was right. Lade was
That's a
right.
perfect
Word.
example because our parents used to tell you, why do you leave the light on now? Now need to off everything.
Exactly.
You know
Nobody
what I
has to
mean?
tell
Like,
you.
nobody has to tell me
Exactly.
anymore. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think in years, right, you build all these experiences. But let's talk about what's competition amongst
Yeah.
Nigerian female artists, and of course you've been a Nigerian-born artist, but not based there.
Yeah.
Do you plan to come back
Absolutely. And even more frequently.
more frequently?
Absolutely, and coming back definitely, because I think the importance of obviously being here, which is literally where the root of everything is. Like,
Word.
as much as people want to be like, no, like I know people like to debate. You know how people are. They're like, oh no, it's not. It right here in Lasgidi, like this is where it's at. This is literally the hub of where it's all at. So everybody has to pay respect to that. So
Would you become with a Shei pulling a Tiwa Savage on you, or a Tiwa Savage pulling a Shei on you?
they're both my sisters. So I mean, I think, to be honest, I think it's just important to understand what is required of us. And as artists, things are changing. When Shei started or when Tiwa started, things were very, very different. Things have evolved. So I think I just want to move like water and just evolve with whatever I need to do.
So if there's a female artist you want to feature, who would it be and why?
Ooh, I mean, it's very hard to pick because I think obviously there's people like Tem, she's amazing and she's doing bits. I do love Ira as well, and you know it's just very hard, right? I know it's very difficult.
Top three.
I'd probably say those two and maybe.
But it sounded alike though.
They do sound alike, but I don't quite think that the style is the exact same. Someone can have a similar
The
vocal
thickness
range.
is different.
Yeah.
It's very, very different,
very.
you know. And maybe for number 3, I'd probably say Yemi because she's working really, really hard. She's a hard worker, and I think it's important to also pay respect to people who have been in this game doing what they do. It's really, like I said, it's really hard to pick. I love me some Tiwa as well. She's
She's my
come
girl,
on,
man. I
man.
love
mean,
Tiwa. Come
exactly,
on, man.
right?
Tiwa.
I am anticipating that
Tiwa is my
collaboration. You
soulmate.
and Yemi. I don't know why, but I feel like it will be a mad banger.
Thank
But
you.
curious though, what has been the most challenging issue in your journey so far?
That's interesting. Would you believe it's not even the creative side? I think it's just understanding the business. Because when people think music business, they forget the business side of things. So I think understanding that, you know, learning not to take things personally, learning to like learn from whatever you did previously and how to make it better. I think when you think of yourself in that way, you have to remember, okay, you're not just a person, you're a product, you're all of these things. How do you make it better? And sometimes having to reflect inward is a bit hard, right? It's a bit hard to like reflect on things you're not doing well or things you could do better. So I'd probably say that's the hardest.
So what is that one thing that you feel makes your music stand out?
I'm not even trying to sound braggadocio, but I think it's just me. I think it's just my ability to,
I love that.
you know, like,
Because that's the answer I was expecting actually.
Yes,
Because like I said initially when you did the acapella, I said you don't sound like nobody. Do you get what I mean? And you just sound like yourself. So I think being you
have a
is
unique
what,
sound.
Thank you.
And of course, you know, what's the promotion been like for you? You know, during the whole LALALE, what's the acceptance
I
like?
mean, to be honest, you know what's funny? Like the first time, before it was released, so I was in Texas at the time because I was touring in the US first, and I remember playing it for like these, you know, these American guys who they're not really. And the thing is, the way he started repeating after the song, like the first time he heard it, he was like, "Oh my god, like is this Afrobeats?" Because a lot of them don't even know. I feel like I'm sharing the gospel of Afrobeats to everywhere I go. So you know, he's like, "Oh, is this what it is?" And you know, he was really excited to hear more and learn more and understand more because as much as this is like, you know, a music business, I still want us to. We need to go further than where we already are. You know, we need to take over the world pretty much. So it was just, it's very, very encouraging to see people accepting it. So yeah, the promotion has been amazing. I've had, you know, I've had white people singing along. I've had so many different people singing along. So it's been amazing.
Okay.
All right, so you've had like tours in Switzerland, the UK, Nigeria, Ghana. Come on.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, so tell us about that. What's it been like, you know, experiencing these different countries and putting your gospel, like you called it out there? What does it feel like?
I mean, to be honest, I mean, there's nothing like coming to Lagos. I mean, that is, it's special. That one is just, it's top tier. It's right up there. But I think probably the most shocking one was probably Zurich. Because you're thinking, you know, these are people who speak like German, they speak French, like they don't speak your language, but the reception has been, they're eating up everything you give them. It's just, it's amazing. So I think the touring aspect and seeing how people respond to Afrobeats in different parts of the world, like it's actually been quite universal. People love it. The moment I mean, young and old, it's not even like, oh, it's just the young people that were loving it. Like I had some old Chinese man coming up to me, he's like, oh, what is that? Like, what is that you're singing? You know, so it's that curiosity. The moment we spark that curiosity, we're winning. So I'm
all right.
excited.
So would you call yourself an independent artist? Because
Absolutely.
a lot of people do, but they have, you know, people who support.
Now, 100% independent. You know,
100%.
Yeah, which is
so
why
how
I
difficult
take
is
it.
that for you? Because you know a lot of people don't understand. They just feel like, hey, when you start pricing the money, that's when the Nigerian will come out. You have to take 20 million. I'll give you 5. Yeah. So how difficult has it been for you?
It's been extraordinarily difficult because, like you were saying, I've worked in software testing, so I'm blessed that I've been able to figure out how to fund it. But literally, me and management, it's literally been the both of us. So that's the reason why, you know, when I'm working with people, I try to be very direct because I'm like, listen, this thing is not coming from a tree. I don't have any sponsors. I don't have any of that, not yet anyway. But you know, I'm working on those things. But at the moment, I'm very, very precise about what I want because you know I know where the money is coming from. I know what I have. So I think it's also helped me to be very disciplined and very decisive. So, because sometimes, you know, you can be spot for choice. Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? It's like, no, this is what you've got. What are you going to do with it? And you have a time frame that you need to do it in. So, you know, again, I've just been very blessed and fortunate that I've had people who've been, you know, I guess emotionally supportive as well. Because there's some people that, you know, the best they can do is do word of mouth. And the moment you have people who are, I guess, emotionally invested in you, you know, that feels like a win for me as well. So I'm taking everything as it comes.
All right, so a lot of artists don't see themselves as brands. They just see themselves as musicians, singers, and stuff like that. Do you see yourself as a brand?
Absolutely.
And what do you think you stand for?
I think mine is self-acceptance because I think it's very easy for people to put me or women in the bubble of, oh, you're only about like empowering women. I'm about empowering everybody because we're all in this lifeboat together, you know. Wahala no they finish for all of us.
Right,
It's not just
yeah.
women it applies to. So
No dey finish.
exactly
Yeah.
right. So I'm very much of the volition like, look, we all have issues and we all need music sometimes to just get us through it, you know. So that's what I stand for.
So for anybody who wants to go listen, I'm so sorry, love. I just have a lot of questions for
Yeah,
you.
it's okay.
For anybody, you know, who hasn't listened to your music, what exactly you selling to the world?
That I'm the Princess of Afrofusion. That's my thing. You can get a bit of everything from me. I'm always gonna have that element of my language because I'm a Yoruba speaker. So I.
She's Yoruba.
Yeah, fair enough.
So dear now.
Hey.
Àti etí ẹ̀ tó ló máa ti kúrò.
Wà lórí TV, so me, mo bóyá mo lè.
Àwa lórí TV. Okay, àti wà lórí TV. So.
Yeah, no, but mo gbé
Anyway,
so.
Ogbede, man, that's good, man. I love people who don't lose touch of their roots.
Absolutely.
And that's
You go to
absolutely
the
one of
world.
them.
Hey,
Give us
listen,
the
baby
world.
girl.
Igbokwenu. Anyways, yeah, I know you have a question for us. Well.
What is your main goal in your music career?
I think aside from obviously everybody's gonna say, oh, they want to make money. Like aside
We're
from
running
those
out of
things-
time though. So,
Oh, I know, right? But I
Yeah.
think for me, it's just making sure that I stand out in my lane and I show that you can do it too. You know, people will probably tell you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, don't do that. But just stand out and be yourself, be true to yourself. And, you know, that's always going to work no matter what anyone tells you.
All right, man. Shout out to your team, man, because, man, I'm
Absolutely.
sure as a band that you are, I'm sure you're not standing alone. There are people who are definitely behind you and making
Absolutely.
you great. So give a special shout out to a few of them. I know you can call all of them, but
I know, right? Guys, don't be offended for anyone I miss, but I just want to thank Dream.
no, don't call the people in the room.
Yeah, no, okay, cool. Probably other than my family, I want to thank them for their support. And my girl, the Nigerian queen, Jaylene, I love you. The support has been immense. Michael Tube's Creations. There's just so many people, and Megs from Riverside Radio. What's it called? Uncle Les from Beats Fusion, and Diaria. I thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Alrighty, man. Of course, yes, it's been amazing. Have Wonder in the building.
Thank
You're so
you.
wonderful, girl.
Thank you.
Anyways, yeah. Anyways, guys, you know how it is on this show. We have to continue with the stories because, you know, Wonder has to go and be wonderful somewhere else. Anyways, all right, man. Thank you for being part
Thank
of the
you
show.
for
We
having
really
me.
appreciate you,
Thank
and we're
you.
looking forward to great
Thank
things
you.
with you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very much.
very
Thank
much.
you very much.